is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Tyler. By the way, I'm Jake. That's Tyler.
Hi.
This is episode 163 of Off Panel, Off Topic. I want you to share with the audience what just happened before I hit record here. So Tyler keeps, as you know, if you've listened to 162 other episodes of this show, you know Tyler likes to sing from time to time.
God help you.
Tyler likes to grab the microphone when he sings, and it caused the microphone to pop and make a loud noise. And I'm like, what is that all
Because
about?
I pick it up like,
What,
okay.
why do you pick it up, Tyler?
I have a table stand. Now, for those of you who know, that's about, I think the ultimate length is maybe a foot. But it's literally designed to go on a table. There's other ones Jake uses an arm.
Sometimes
it's an armature which hooks onto the table, and it's got little springs so it keeps it steady. You don't have to touch it. You should just be touching the stand, not the mic. I understand that. However, I'm also a big fan of 80s cock rock bands. And
a minute and a half in.
A lot of them.
By the way.
Yeah, fuck. A lot of them. I mean, just break the seal.
Come on!
A lot of them, they take the mic like up here in their left hand. They grip the mic and where the stand is, and then they take the stand itself and they flip it, and they're singing like down. They're like, yeah, fucking yeah, and
They're
carrying around.
Would you say they grip the shaft of the microphone?
You ever watch? Oh yeah. You ever watch? They stroke it. You ever watch Axl Rose? Like when he walks around, he's got the stand and he's doing this thing.
I wish they could see this. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's too bad we're not video show.
Anyway,
but
what did you say to me?
Well,
when you
the thing popped again, and I was mad at myself for continuing to pick up the microphone when I know it's gonna pop, and I was just like, I just want to fucking rock out, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Hell of a vocal one.
I just want to walk out. That wasn't that good. It was better.
Did you, so we're in Iowa, as you probably know by now. Did you go to the state fair?
No, I did not.
Off panel, off road, I did.
Did you? Do we have off panel, off road?
I mean, there's really nothing to talk about.
Did you make a video or an audio clip? Wow. Everywhere I go, when I'm not in my normal daily whatever, I'm doing an off-panel, off-road because I care about this.
Oh,
show.
Maybe I just want to be maybe I'm trying to be in the moment, Tyler. I don't need to document it for the podcast.
Well, my short-term memory is fucked, so I kind of have to document shit. You're fucked in the short-term memory duct. What?
That was good.
Thanks. Well, for those of you who don't know, I put out music under the amazing
They fucking know. It's 163 episodes.
But when I am walking around and I'm by myself sometimes, I'll make up little songs in my head because it helps when I'm writing lyrics for real for my music. Because the melody will come from my head, whatever song it is. But being able to like form words in pleasing arrangements like lyrics, like I do that, and I'm glad I don't do it around anybody because they'd have me locked up. Like, you sing about fucking... I told the guys at the golf event on Friday, I told them about that. And then I sang a song for them, and they all looked at me like, huh. All right.
Why do you do that?
What do you mean?
Well, you should only do that with me. Because I feel like if you do that with any other person in public,
they're
gonna be really being like, what?
I do that with everybody.
Well, that's why people
Why
act weird around you,
Why the fuck do you
Tyler.
think I'm single, dude?
Okay. So,
if you're a single
I'm gonna
lady
put out
over the age of 29...
Under 29, you better age up higher, brother.
Excuse me?
Anyway, so
no. Excuse me?
I'm going to hard pivot out of this.
Well, that's fine.
I understand.
I know, no. I'm just letting you know that there's about 90% of the creeps that are my age would say 19. So you should give me props for trying to get to 30 at least.
Okay.
Fuck's sake, man.
Oh, that's your that's your starting point.
Yeah, above the age. What did you think I said below?
I don't know what you said.
Fucking. That's
I was
enough. We're done talking about my love life, such as it is. fucking Christ.
Good. I'm sorry.
No.
I misheard you.
No. I was saying we needed a sounder to get us out of that loop.
So I wanted to make a quick warning. We're bringing back What's in My Mouth. So people that are sensitive to the sounds of
I guess you should stop hanging around everybody because everybody fucking does it. Do you like when you're eating food?
Time out. Stop.
Okay.
We're gonna do two sounders.
You're
We're gonna
fair.
do one right now to say
fair.
Hey,
It's fair.
the segment will start.
Okay.
And we'll do another one at the end.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't want to offend anybody on purpose. I'm just saying,
I
to
know.
me, it's like, really? Because, I mean, if you're sitting next to somebody eating, do
man.
you get up and go,
Hey.
that's disgusting?
It's my personal belief
Sure.
that it is different strokes for different
We
folks.
don't like to kink shame on here. This is kind of a kink.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, ASMR.
Kind of weird.
And also, we want to point out if we make you hard during this segment.
That's
You're
exactly what
welcome.
we're going.
All right, for the
This
people
ain't for the sensitive anyway.
for people who don't want to hear food sounds,
Come on, do it. Do it.
get out. Everybody else.
We're never going to get sponsorships like this.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Hibby dibby.
I'm doing the hand jive.
It's a long intro.
Yeah, but it's so good.
All right, so that's how we
We just have to get to the salty or sweet part. 'Cause that's funny.
You know what else is salty and sweet? Like a nut roll.
Reese's peanut butter cup.
Ooh, pretzels. In
oh,
chocolate.
with peanut butter. Peanut butter filled pretzels.
Oh. What's in your hands?
What I got? Actually, we have a really great segment next week. We have 2 bags that I fucking left at home.
Yeah,
so,
you stupid
but I
bastard.
rescued it because thanks, you dick. About a month and a half ago, I took a road trip and I bought some snacks and I totally forgot about them. And one of them was Casey's Taco Pizza potato chips. Now, if you live in Iowa or anywhere in the Northwest, you know about Casey's Taco Pizza. Now, I love taco pizza. Jake and the family here had never had any of it. The first time they had it was with me, or I think.
I'd had it before.
Oh, you guys just didn't really dig on it.
It wasn't.
Fucking weirdos. You don't want to have to hold like everything. Okay, let me describe what taco pizza is like to you. Imagine you have a regular piece of pizza, right? You turned it.
I
you
turned it
Go ahead.
down.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
I turned it up. Go
No,
ahead.
keep talking.
Okay.
I'll save it.
Yeah. Imagine you have a regular piece of pizza.
Come in.
And there's a bunch of Legos on top, and none of them are connected. So they're all just loose Legos, right?
Sloppy.
Now, you have to get all of that pizza and those Legos into your mouth for every bite. Like, you got to do it every time, right? All the Legos are trying to fall off that pizza every time. It's insanely impossible, and you can never get the true perfect bite.
Tyler,
but it's so
Here's
good.
what you do. With any sort of taco burrito situation,
No, this isn't like
even with taco pizza,
No.
always have a layer of chips. So when every piece of drop or a tortilla or something, so every bit of dropping goes back into seconds because you know you're gonna want another burrito. You know you're gonna want some nachos. That's all I'm saying.
So Casey's Taco Pizza kettle potato chips.
Kettle.
Yeah.
Because tortilla chips would make too much sense.
Right? Okay, first things first. There's more bite to them than the actual pizza, which is weird. It does taste like a taco pizza. Now I want a taco pizza. In fact, on the way home, I might call and see if I just pick up a taco pizza for the people at home. Because I'm going to eat soon. I hope you're ready for taco pizza tonight. Because that's what we're fucking eating here, right? I like talking about...
I'll eat your ass.
That's what I give it. Delicious.
Yeah, for sure. I like talking about when I'm going home to my household and like I'm only talking about me.
Hold it. I'm gonna buy a pizza for everybody at home, and I mean myself.
Might be a small.
Enough. A personal pan would be kind of perfect.
Do you guys make a personal pan taco? Get out!
You loon.
Freeloader. Well, said I'd pay for it. Yeah.
Did you hear what that psychopath? By the way, these are gas station people. They deal with like all walks of life at like 2 a.m. They think you're crazy because you want a personal pan pizza. Get out!
My favorite is I go to Casey's on my way into my radio show on Saturday mornings, and I go and grab a piece of breakfast pizza, whatever is there at the time. And invariably, the two people behind the glass making pizza and everything, the two people, one of them is not working, and the other one is. Now, it depends on who they are, but one of them is complaining a storm about one of their coworkers, and the other one is just listening. Now, the last time I was there, the person talking was actually working, so I don't know why the person not working was still standing there and listening to this nonsense. And also, it's really unprofessional for me to hear about how much the person you work with sucks and all of her legal troubles. I don't think I should know that shit. So maybe be aware of the fact that you're in a noisy area and there are people around. Maybe just be situationally fucking aware that there's a person within 20 feet of you and maybe keep it down a little bit. You ever worked at like a retail or a food service place and there's guests and customers all around and you have that one friend who can't seem to understand that when you say smoking some pot, you don't want to say it that loud. You want to be like, smoking some pot. No, you don't want to be like, I was smoking a big ganj, motherfucker, when there's a family of 4 walking by. Okay, pro tip. Ew, fuck you. What were we talking about?
Maybe. Maybe not.
What were we talking
Maybe fuck yourself.
The chips are good. So anyway. Let's talk about some news.
Let's talk about some news.
Is
it going to give me the blues?
Yeah.
This news? Is it going to make me snooze?
So we got this article from NBC.
I refuse.
From NBC News.
I don't want to lose.
Will you fuck off,
NBC
Dr.
News.
Seuss. Dr. Douche. That's what you're being right now.
You know, for getting all this news, you're quite the sleuth.
Get it out. Get it out. Because it's not just me.
I'm sorry that I was being so uncouth.
It's not just me you're hurting. It's them.
I've been like this ever since my youth.
It's your fault. It's your fault. Be mad at yourself.
All right, so this
You can
article.
get me to stop, but it ain't no use. Now I'm going to moo just like a moose. Ah!
His mic's off. No more. Tyler's out. So anyway, this article is coming from NBC News, written by Mia Von Burke, I believe. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that name. Are you ready to have your mic back? Yeah. He said yeah into the mic. That was... All right. So this is about Disney Plus and Disney Parks. So yeah, again, from many. By the way, I do want to apologize to the author of this because it got featured in the worst podcast hours.
I was gonna say which one, but
this is about Jeffrey J. Piccolo, who is suing Disney Parks and Resorts in February, months after his wife, Dr. Kanokaporn Tongson. I'm probably really butchering these names, and I apologize.
why don't you let me read them? I'm way better at that. What are they?
It's KANOKPORN.
Keep telling the story, and I'll look it up.
Tang Sung. I think Tang Sung. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing. Died after she consumed food containing allergens at a restaurant in Disney World. Piccolo said in his complaint that he, his wife, and his mother went to dinner at Raglan Road Irish Pub and Restaurant at the resort in Orlando on October 5th, and they asked several times whether Tang Sung's Again, I do apologize. Allergies could be accommodated according to the complaint. Despite the servers having served them, Tang Sung had a severe allergic reaction and died at a local hospital, the complaint said.
I think it's Tong Swan.
Tang Song? Tang Swan?
Tong Swan.
Well, I apologize. So Disney filed court documents in May saying the 50... I want to keep in mind, this is also...
Kanak Porn Tong Swan. Okay, anyway.
What I said. Is in May...
Just say the deceased from now on.
In May, saying the $50,000 lawsuit should be dismissed and resolved by individual arbitration because of terms Piccolo agreed to when he signed up for a free trial of the streaming service Disney Plus. So, Disney, let's be honest, billion-dollar corporation, Disney, who just had a movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, make $1 billion at the box office, is trying to get out of a $50,000 case. $50,000, Disney. This is all they're asking is for the I'm sure they're asking for things with like the funeral case and things like, or things with the funeral and all that other thing. Like $50,000 is pennies to a corporation like this. But to try and get out of it by saying you signed up for a streaming service, how does that work legally?
Also, that's all he's asking is $50,000.
Yes, it's a $50,000 lawsuit. Very.
Your wife died, and you. I don't know. Look, God forbid I ever meet somebody and get married and that ever happens to me, but I feel like if it did, I'd be asking for way more than $50,000. There must be some sort of cap or something that he can only.
I don't know.
Ask maybe a civil. I don't know. I don't know the law that well, but
yeah, maybe there's something different in Florida.
It
I don't know
seems
how
like
it
you'd be
works.
like $4 million or right. It's got to be a Florida.
But that's
thing,
not the point. The bigger.
No, you're right.
Yeah, the bigger point is the fact that like this billion-dollar corporation owns all these things, makes all this money,
multi-billion-dollar,
and tries to get out of a case because you signed up for fucking Disney Plus.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
And let me tell you right now that there are a lot of people in this world with a lot of power and a lot of money studying this case very closely.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the fucking Human Centipede episode of South Park where they didn't read the terms because nobody reads the terms because they're intentionally boring and long and put in front.
Yes.
Video games do this especially.
Yes.
Are put in front of something that you are already in the process of going towards and something you want, like a movie you're watching or a video game you're playing, and it's put in front of you so you could just skip through it and get to the thing that you want. And you just say, yeah, whatever, I'll fucking accept your terms to play your game. Or I'll accept your terms to have Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And so maybe there are something in the terms that relate to if something happens on a Disney property because you have a stream Disney Plus, maybe there is something in there.
Be aware that there are people out there who are like, if Disney wins this case, you're not going to want to sign up for anything ever again.
Because they'll own it.
Then they'll start putting all sorts of language in there that you will be fucked. You'll be fucked if you go, I agree to the terms and conditions for fucking Madden on PlayStation. Yeah. Like your firstborn will be like theirs or something.
Yes.
I'm serious.
No, yeah.
They will fucking absolutely, and it'll be fucking legal, dude.
I'm going to write that down. That is an idea for a funny story of someone who accepts terms of service and like gives their soul to the devil or something. And then because that's what it's acting like. That is what they're trying to, and that's why they can't win this case, and they shouldn't win this case. Because you're right, it sets an extremely dangerous precedent.
How much you want to bet they win it?
It sets an extremely dangerous precedent when you realize that there are 6 companies that own everything in this country
in the world.
They can do anything they want
world.
when you sign up for one of the 6 streaming services.
And here's what else. You could sign up for like 197 things for one of those corporations that they own. Or maybe like 217 for another. You got to understand, there are shell companies with shell companies with shell companies. You may not know it, but this completely innocuous game that you signed up for on your mobile phone may be owned eventually by Viacom. Okay? Eventually, through all those, subsidiaries and all that shit, gets up to the parent company itself as Viacom. And what if they say something like that?
I think this is...
Be careful.
I think just like we talk about how I've talked about it in the college football show that I do, and how it's gotten so obvious how everybody, and we do it, everybody does it. If you put anything online, you are playing in this game. You are playing in this game of trying to get someone's attention. Really, that's all we're trying to do. Everybody's trying to grab your attention. And you sometimes have to play that game. You have to play the algorithm. You have to do these things. And I think Disney wants this story to get out and wants this story to be brought up. I truly think that, because I think they're kind of floating this idea of what if companies can do this. You know what I mean?
There's a ton of...
Because why else would this get brought up? Because it's so extreme. If someone died, the husband of the deceased just wants them to help pay for the bills for their funerals and all this other stuff and paying people. And it's such a small, modest amount, and this big corporation says no and says, because you signed up for it. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to be tinfoil hat, like fucking psyop kind of guy, but I'm just saying that it definitely seems like it's getting floated out onto these major outlets, and this story gets taken off because of how crazy it is, but it also is kind of puts that idea out. And they the filing included a copy of the Terms of Use. A section titled Disney Terms of Service says, quote, any dispute between you and us, except for small claims, is subject to a class action waiver and must be resolved by individual binding arbitration, end quote. So Piccolo's lawyer had some responses. He says, quote, there is simply no reading of the Disney Plus subscriber agreement which would support the notion that Mr. Piccolo agreed to arbitrate claims arise from injuries sustained by his wife at a restaurant located on premises owned by a Disney theme park or resort, which ultimately led to her death.
Can I just say why I fucking hate lawyers? Did you read that? Do you know how long that one paragraph took to craft by about 17 fucking poor fucking interns?
Because you had to be so measured in your
you
legal
have
response.
to be absolutely positive and
They'll
deliberate
twist any
with
word you
your
say.
yes. You have to, Disney parks or resorts ultimately led to,
none of it in this specific agreement.
We would have said, like, that makes no sense that he can't sue them for his wife dying. Because you know what? That's how we would have said it. Lawyers are aliens, man. God damn it.
Will you just stop touching the goddamn mic?
That's why, you know what? I better stop talking about lawyers.
Yeah, see? They're going to snipe your ass. And they're lawyers. They know how to cover it up.
Right.
The lawyer goes on to say, any notion, or it just says notion that terms agreed to by a consumer when creating a Disney Plus free trial account would forever bar that consumer's right to a jury trial in any dispute is so outrageously unreasonable and unfair, end quote. So I think this obviously is true. This lawyer is 100% correct. Yeah. I think Piccolo is going to win this case. I don't think that it really was like this psyop thing. But I could see that it doesn't matter to Disney because Disney gets compressed no matter what. And it really isn't going to change much, and that's what sucks, is that we live in this capitalistic society, and it's unfortunate that I love Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's also associated with Disney, one of the fucking evilest corporations.
Oh, Marvel.
Let's be honest, all corporations are ultimately evil at some point.
How fucking depressed I was way back.
Yeah.
When Disney bought Marvel comic books.
Yeah.
That was way before they were doing it.
Were you devastated when they got Star Wars too?
No.
Really?
Well, because I knew there were people in place that were moving over to Disney with Star Wars that, unlike other people, no, nothing. Did you see the, off topic, no shit, there's an Acolyte Honest trailer, and it starts off with, before Star Wars was ruined by the prequels, before Star Wars was ruined by the sequels, before the Star Wars was ruined by Andor and the Obi-Wan show. Now it's getting ruined by some woke It's so funny, dude.
So,
yeah, Star Wars fans need to calm the fuck down.
It's ridiculous to think that Disney could even attempt this, and I do think it is just them saying, fuck it, if this story gets out, let it get out, and let's just deal with it as
court of public opinion.
Who
That's
cares?
what they want.
Who cares? There's so many people that don't like Disney because of its support of Israel, and there's so many people that don't like Disney because what they think they did to Star Wars, and that could be argued, or what they've done to the MCU and all that shit.
Here's one thing that false reporting can really do. A long time ago in the 80s, when I was a kid, an older lady, she went through the drive-thru, got coffee, and spilled it on her lap because like the lid or whatever, and she sued McDonald's for like millions of dollars. Now, a lot of conservatives and right-wingers were saying this is why we need tort reform. Da 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 da. She spilled coffee on herself. She's at whatever. But here's the real truth: this woman was not trying to get money out of the McDonald's corporation. The fact is that the coffee was kept at such a high temperature that she received third fucking degree burns on her thighs and her like groin area. Okay,
She was going to put that in her body. She was going to put that in her mouth.
She wanted McDonald's to agree to lower the temperature of their coffee that they serve, and also pay for all of her medical bills. She added all that other shit because that's what you have to do when you do a civil suit, which is why what I'm saying is, I don't know. What I'm saying is that if you don't know the whole story, I'm firmly on the side of the doctor, even though honestly, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for doctors. I mean, you get a lot of money, so. But that sucks that happened to you, and you should have some redress. So, absolutely, you're the little guy in the situation. I absolutely root for the little guy. And legally, I think Disney should pay.
Someone died.
Yeah.
Someone died.
You have that in your pocket, motherfucker.
It's pennies. It is pennies to them. $50,000. Again, Deadpool and Wolverine just made $1 billion at the box office, and that's one of its multiple billion-dollar movies, okay? $50,000 is nothing. I don't care how hard it's been on the box office in the past year or whatever.
Up with your golden parachutes when you get fired, motherfucker.
Which, by the way, I mentioned the $1 billion that Deadpool and Wolverine made a few months ago. Inside Out 2 made a gangbusters amount of money, too. So I don't. Again,
no.
I'm not going to have sympathy for the corporation in this. I'm going to have sympathy for the man who's just trying to get some money to cover the fees for funerals, the funeral and all that stuff that goes into it for his wife that died at your fucking theme park. Just have a little bit of fucking sympathy is all I want out of this. Really, is someone of the court of public opinion. All I think is like again, pennies, fucking pennies. You're one of the biggest corporations, companies in the world.
Yeah.
The world, not just America, the world. But it is what it is. Speaking of Disney being shady, but maybe also Beau DeMayo being shady, Beau DeMayo finally shared some news about what is going on with him being stripped of his credit for season 2. Excuse me, I bumped my arm here.
God.
So this is what's interesting is we've heard rumors that it's being reworked. Like the second half of season 2, and then season 3 is going to be different for X-Men 97. Mm-hmm. And so back in March, we talked about it on this show that DeMayo was let go from Marvel before the show came out. Mm-hmm. Then we had also heard that it was a mutual thing. Like Marvel didn't fire him and all that. It was a mutual thing.
Yep.
And then more comes out. So Beau DeMayo made a post on I want to say Instagram. Yeah, on Instagram. He just said it's a picture of someone making fan art of him with like for Pride during June. That it was him as Cyclops, and he said that he was stripped of the season 2 credit because he posted that art on his Instagram. He said, above his X-Men fan art I posted on Instagram for Gay Pride in June. On June 13th, Marvel sent a letter notifying me that they had stripped my season 2 credits due to the post. Sadly, this is the latest in a troubling pattern I suffered through while working on X-Men 97 and Blade. So Marvel said,
do you have that email that thing that was sent to you, or did you sign an NDA? we were talking about this earlier, and we'll get into this deeper.
So Marvel,
but I have a feeling there's a lot of NDAs around.
Yeah,
this
so
whole
Marvel
thing.
actually responded and said, quote, Mr. DeMayo was terminated in March 2024 following an internal investigation. Given the egregious nature of the findings, we've severed ties with him immediately, and he has no further affiliation with Marvel, end quote. This is also coming from Variety, I believe. Yeah, this article is coming from Variety that I'm reading. I'm also reading it on NBC News, but who knows? Anyway, so yeah, there's two conflicting things. So there's Beau DeMayo saying they stripped me of my season 2 credits, and honestly, before Disney said anything, and again, I'm probably going to side with Beau DeMayo on this, unless maybe Disney isn't lying and there's some really weird, messed up shit.
If he was assaulting people and shit, Jesus.
Yes,
you know?
if he was doing fucked up shit, then okay, fuck that guy. But regardless, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney would have done that, not because that it's Pride Month, but because they're so restrictive with what these people can post on their social media with their IP. And because I've seen, there's been actual, if you watch interviews, when they call Grogu in The Mandalorian Baby Yoda, there are actors and actresses that panic because there are stuff where, Disney enforces that, where, you need to say Grogu because you need to sell product, right? Yeah. So I wouldn't be shocked if Disney did do that because they're like, hey, you're fucking with our IP. You don't work with us anymore. Quit fucking with our IP. Take that off your social media.
Well, here's a couple things. Here's a couple things. You're right, and here's a couple things I want to bring up. One, this is largely the first time that Beau DeMayo has fired back, if you will, at Marvel. Throughout most of this process, he has been humble and. It was just this thing, we parted ways amicably. Most every other thing. This is the first time where he's been like, isn't this fucking ridiculous, you guys?
Which is weird because, a few months ago, Marvel was saying they split, like you said, like I was bringing it up, they split amicably. Then he says this shit. Then Marvel goes,
why now?
We didn't fucking
why now?
No. We took you off for this.
When is season 2 coming out? Next year? Why now?
Who knows?
Why now?
There's no timeline of when it's supposed to come out.
So this makes me question not only DeMayo's motives, and again, fuck Disney. It's a large corporation.
Yeah, fuck Disney for sure.
But I do got to say, I have worked at places before where there are rules set in place for seemingly innocuous things that you wouldn't think would get you fired, but for whatever reason, that corporation has specific rules that the fact that you did it, whatever, you have to be fired and can never work for that corporation again. It's in the fucking bylaws or the handbook or whatever, and you can't do anything about it. So that may very well be what happened, is that Beau assumed when they put that thing out, so he was like, I'm going to stay real nice because I think maybe there's still a chance of me coming back. Mm-hmm. And now I think recently or something around, the last couple of weeks, he has learned that no, that is an unbreakable thing. You did this. It's in the handbook or whatever. So now we can't even hire you back if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And now he knows this. So now he's firing shots back. And that is what I feel like is happening.
So he responded back to Disney or back to Marvel. And he said, linking to this article that I'm reading from Variety, quote, "The truth will be revealed after their Disney Plus disaster. Marvel wants to mislead with alleged contract breaches over tweets. It's tragic. It's come to this, but unsurprising. Stay tuned." Again, if this is what Beau DeMayo is saying is true, I wouldn't be surprised. And fuck Marvel, fuck Disney. It is what it is. I love Marvel Comics. I love the characters that they've created. But at the end of the day, they are owned by Disney. So they are part of the machine. And I would not be surprised if it was something as silly as tweets or something like that. However, we don't know what this investigation was about. And it's such a vague...
Disney might be legally in the right. That doesn't make them morally right.
Like you were saying, gross misconduct is intentionally a vague thing, so you can file it under whatever you feel like you need to justify firing that person. But maybe he did do something fucked up. We don't know. We don't know. And the truth will come out at some point. If there was an internal investigation and it was bad, did they turn it over to authorities? And are they working out a criminal case? Like, what the fuck is going on? And they are intentionally being vague, but maybe there's NDAs.
And so is he, kind of.
So is he, because maybe they're both legally, they can't say shit. And
Yeah,
he may have fucked it and like stoked some flames.
Right.
And maybe he like went to the furthest he could go to like get their attention. I don't know.
Well, the bottom line here again is that legally Disney may be in the right. Like, he has no recourse. It's in the fucking wording or whatever, in the charter of the company, whatever. You can't do anything about. Again, even if they wanted to hire you back, they couldn't. But that doesn't make them morally right, because what. And again, it really depends on what he actually did. Again, if he's assaulting, if he's threatening people, if he's like hitting on people when they're without them, they've
If he's
said
doing
like,
fucked
"Hey,
up shit, fuck him."
I don't appreciate you hitting."
We've already
and he
said that.
continues
We
to
made
do
that
it,
clear.
whipping his dick out at people and shit like that. Okay, right? There's things that he could have been doing that I will be like, yeah, good job, Disney.
Mm-hmm.
But since we don't know, I don't know. I don't know who I side with. I think again I side with the little guy.
Let's also play a little tinfoil hat here.
Sure.
So he had already completed season 1 and 2. So now there's rumors that season 2 is being reworked and season 3 is going to be something else.
Yeah.
Which would just fucking suck because season 1 was so damn good.
Yeah.
He also wrote on Moon Knight. But here's the big one. He was one of the screenwriters on Blade
Yeah. The latest one?
with Mahershala Ali.
Well-
Mahershala Ali.
I heard somewhere that he's supposed to be. They're trying to set him up as the Nick
But
Fury
here's my
of
thing.
the. Yeah.
Is because of Beau DeMayo? Is that why they secretly probably scrapped? They never said anything publicly, but they've scrapped Armor Wars. That's gone. I think they're trying to scrap Blade, and I think the Deadpool shit, having Wesley Snipes make that comment, could be a throwaway gag, but it feels like more because he's winking at the camera.
I didn't feel like that was a throwaway line at all. When we're watching the movie.
I firmly believe that Ryan Reynolds, who, you can have complaints about Deadpool and Wolverine, but it is always what it was. It's a commercial to see, hey, would you like to see Channing Tatum in a Gambit movie? Would you like to see Wesley Snipes come back as Blade? And then after that, you have Ryan Reynolds making this fucking masturbatory, lovingly, like, it was actually a really sweet post, to Channing Tatum, saying how much he's so glad that he got to do that and be in the movie and play the role that he wanted to play that he never got a chance to do. Like, that's
I'll
that's
say
cool.
this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then
He's too bulky to be Gambit.
let me
though.
finish.
Go ahead.
Well, let me finish the last thought and we can go from there. But because you wanted to kind
I
of.
got a big ass chip to eat.
Well, you want to have a kind of a broader conversation about the MCU with Agatha all along and all that stuff, with like where it fits. But
Yeah,
like,
I got you.
Didn't you also have? So he has this thing of like, I would champion it, and he has a Deadpool, is what Ryan Reynolds said. He's like, I'll do whatever I can, maybe leak some extra test footage or whatever to give Channing Tatum the Gambit movie he wants. And then he makes another post a few days later talking about Wesley Snipes, and he would love to see like an old man Logan, old man Blade style thing for Wesley Snipes. And I hate to say it, I would kind of love to see that too,
Me fucking too.
because I love the fucking Blade trilogy.
Never seen one of them.
Are you shitting me? I've
never
talked
s-
about
I've
it
never-
on this show.
I've never watched
multiple
any
times.
of them straight through. I don't think I've even seen very many clips.
Oh, and you know what? I guarantee the last time we talked about it, you said this, and I said we need to watch
Is the
those movies.
end of the first one like a big CGI thing with what's his name?
Stephen
Dorff?
Yeah.
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 Okay, I
And
believe
that's where that line comes in when he's like, some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill.
okay, so I believe I've seen that sequence
Yeah.
in some way or another.
That was one of my favorite lines. That
Always bet on black. That was my favorite.
every time
Wesley Snipes line.
every time that I see that movie and every time I talk about that movie, I cannot stop talking about the part where he gets shot in the beginning of the movie in his like chest piece that's like bulletproof or whatever. And he just looks at him and he goes, "Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?" Like for a minute, the like Blade mystique goes down just a little bit, where it's just like Wesley Snipes talking shit, and I love it when Wesley Snipes talks shit, dude. He's so fucking like
He's
amazing in Demolition Man.
I was just gonna fucking say,
Right?
one of the most underrated performances in all of film
He's so
history
fucking good in that
is
movie.
Wesley Snipes in fucking Demolition. Dude, he's clearly having so much fun, and he has bought into the character whole fucking hook, line, and sinker. He does so, you can tell like he's doing things like probably improv a little bit that just to kind of, oh my god, like the part where he starts speaking Spanish back to the person, like, you know, and they're like, and he's like, you're about to be and he just kills all of them just badly, just kills
It's
them.
almost kind of crazy because
when he's in the museum. I can't think of any quotes right now.
That was like
of course.
3 years before Blade.
Yeah.
So that was like him cranking it up, chewing scenery, and then Blade just being the coolest fucking dude in the room. Like every time he's in a scene, he's just the coolest dude in the room. And it works because you buy into that because Wesley Snipes has always had that cocky bravado about him.
Demolition Man
Even in Major League when he's a good comedic relief, he kind of steals the show a little bit.
Demolition Man had a huge...
Regardless, I want to talk about Blade.
I know. But it had a huge promotional campaign that summer. And one of the biggies was, guess, Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah, because
They won
their fast food wars.
Yeah, the bass player in my first band worked at Taco Bell at the time, and he had a bunch of shirts.
Excuse
but I
me,
lost them.
franchise wars. Not the fast food wars, the franchise wars.
Whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, I hate that is true though. I would love to see that, but you kind of brought this up too about with like because Blade is interesting because I truly think that Marvel is doing their best to distance themselves from Eternals. They're doing their best to distance themselves from the Black Knight stuff, the Blade stuff. All that shit, I think they're trying to avoid. I don't know why they're still going through with Agatha. I don't understand why they could kind of secretly cut out and move away from Eternals and Blade and all this and not do that with Agatha unless there is something else. Do you think maybe that they're trying to set it up to like this is how Scarlet Witch comes back or something with that?
All I know right now is that there's pros and cons to all this stuff. I mean, I really do feel like they're just throwing whatever is out there because they've either gone too far in production or whatever, and I feel like Agatha is one of those. But I think if there's a certain point of production, they're like, fucking cut it, because right now we're just trying to get... They just brought news that they're bringing back Hiddleston as Loki in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Okay, well, look... the problem is that Marvel Comics has never done a hard reboot. Never. DC has done multiple hard reboots, okay?
Yeah, and Marvel's justification is...
I don't know that...
it's like relativity. Like, their
Sure.
timeline is like... Everything that happened
sacred
from
timeline,
the 70s to the 90s was like 5 years to them.
Right, yeah. But and that's fine, whatever you want to say. But I think DC has got it kind of going on with the comics because they allow creators to do whatever they want with their characters.
And they constantly allow their characters to be reinvented.
Yes.
And introduced to new generations. And
One thing
things.
Marvel's been doing lately, like with the Danny Warren Johnson Beta Ray Bill book, was they're allowing...
and his Wonder Woman book is fucking great, too.
But Marvel has started allowing like comic creator types who have never worked for the big two to come in and go, this is my take on your stuff.
I need to get that Beta Ray Bill book.
It's fucking... I'm sure there's a
love it.
collected.
Oh, I know. That's what I mean. I need to get the trade.
Your birthday's coming up.
Oh.
Anyway, but that's... I really firmly believe that what you and I were talking about a couple weeks ago is what's
that it's
happening.
all leading to Secret Wars, yeah.
And just a hard reboot.
Mm-hmm. Just
start everything over fresh with the X-Men, with Fantastic Four, with Avengers, hopefully some Spider-Man, because fuck, that's like 25% of the goddamn Marvel universe.
I think they're gonna keep they're gonna keep the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Rebuild the X-Men to what they want. Because they're gonna do it's not gonna be McAvoy or Stewart. They're gonna get somebody else for Charles and Magneto. They're gonna get a whole new cast of characters. Yes, even fucking Wolverine, because I think they're gonna finally for real kill him in Secret Wars. Maybe even Deadpool, because Ryan Reynolds was talking. I don't know, because these guys always say I'm never doing another one, and then they fucking show up later because it's like comic books.
Well,
But-
it's fucking tons of money for them too.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, well, I haven't been doing anything.
Honestly, if you've spent that much time with a character,
Wouldn't you rather you steward them? Yeah. But anyway,
I get it.
but I do think that they're gonna carry the Fantastic Four over, I think, and then I think they're gonna do their version of the X-Men. They're not gonna tie it to the Fox stuff. I think the Deadpool and Wolverine was a goodbye to that. And then I just think they're gonna start fresh. I don't know. Now, you could keep Sam. You could. There's some things that you could keep going. And we'll see what happens with Brave New World, and it used to be New World Order, but Brave New World and how that's going to go about. The thing is that kills me is that people were so, and we talked about it on the show, people that were so pissed about RDJ being Doom. I don't like it. You were kind of okay with it, but
I don't, because we're never going to see his face, and I know I watched shows. That show he had on Max.
shit, Tropic Thunder, like.
The guy can disappear into a character, like it or not.
He did a whole for the fucking the DVD bonus features. Did a whole short about how he was still in character as Lincoln and like trying to break back into Kurt, like the dude, like what he was doing in the movie where like the dudes are fighting, and he was doing that whole thing. And I'm like, this is RDJ playing another actor, playing another character in a silly BS thing for special features for a DVD, but it's funny and it works and you believe
and it was good because
so I could see him working for that.
I know that you're gonna see Doom and be like, well, I know that's RDJ in the back of your head, but he's good enough that he'll elevate that character and you won't remember that he was Iron Man.
Welcome to comic books, by the way. People that
no
were
fucking shit.
People that were upset about RDJ dying and then coming back as Dr. Doom. Welcome to comic books. And look. I'm not a huge fan of it. I would have preferred they had gone with a much more like what's the I can't think of the name of it. He's his ethnic background.
Who's
Armani,
ethnic background?
Dr. Doom.
Oh, he's Latvian.
But
Eastern European.
Yeah, whatever. But the point is, sorry, I don't mean whatever. But someone closer to his ethnic background in the comics, I would have preferred. And I also would have preferred a younger actor, someone trying to make a name instead of an established. Like, it's gonna, and that's why he has to
that
stay.
That does bug me a little bit,
He has to stay
too.
in the mask the whole time because
Right.
it's going to be incredibly hard to separate Robert Downey Jr. from Tony Stark because they have become so synonymous with each other since that first movie. It's going to be really hard.
Here's what I think they do. Is when they introduce Doom, they do his origin story, right? And they have they have it long enough ago that you can use younger actors to portray Pedro and Victor Von Doom. So it's not RDJ, but somebody who looks like him but way younger. Not like the shit in Civil War. Like that shit was weird. Remember that? When he's doing the barf or whatever?
Yeah.
That was weird. But something like that, and then his face is scarred, and then you never see RDJ's face, but okay, this is how we work, right?
Yeah.
So
it's just
I'm cool with a hard reboot. I just again
at this point,
since the comics have never done it, is the MCU prepared to do it, or are they just going to keep rolling? Hey, 20 years from now, Chris Evans is playing old man Captain America. Like fuck.
I was having a conversation with my friend of the show, Luke, one night. We were talking about this because the MCU has been so inconsistent since Endgame because it was all thought out. And like if you go back, seriously, if you go back and watch anything from phase 1 to 3, yeah, in the beginning it's kind of rough. They're short into figuring things out and they retcon things later. But honestly, from Age of Ultron onwards, it is all interconnected brilliantly, leading to Infinity War. And I saw Infinity War 3 times in the theater. I saw Endgame in the theater. I bawled my eyes. I saw every movie leading up to
The
it.
Infinity Saga.
You will never get that again. I'm sorry.
And
Marvel, DC,
Yeah.
or Marvel, Disney, excuse me. Understand that you will never get that again and just enjoy that beautiful moment for what it was. And honestly, I would much rather prefer after Secret Wars, it's done. No more MCU, and let's just all make their own movies and let people just make whatever they want.
We'll see about that. But
it ain't gonna happen.
No.
And it should have ended at Endgame, but it never was going
If you
to because it made $1 billion.
Well, no, look, you and I were just as fucking excited about what was coming after Endgame.
I loved Multiverse of Madness. I'm a firm defender of
We're
fucking
total
Love and Thunder.
shills, right.
I fight for Love and Thunder more than
I
you do.
fucking hate that movie, actually.
But I'm just saying it will never get to the heights that it was, dude.
Listen, you're right.
Age of Ultron, Civil War, Black Panther,
There's
banger
very
after
few-
Captain Marvel, banger after
right.
banger after
Oh,
banger.
fucking.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
First of all, there were some duds in the Infinity Saga.
Sure,
but
yes. I'm agreeing. Just go.
I'm just sitting here I'm just letting you monologue. Or anyway, I'm just being a complainer. Keep touching the microphone. We were talking about the Infinity Saga. There were
some
a
duds.
couple of duds, but not many. When you think about it, it's based. Well, you goddamn it! It's not a big deal, but literally, stay away from the mic for 5 seconds.
I was saying and then
you know what else?
I literally said and backed away from the mic.
Shut up! Fuck you! This is our weekly spat. If you've listened to the show before, you know that this is our weekly spat. So, but what were we talking here, right? Like Iron Man 2, Dark World, and maybe Age of Ultron, which Age of Ultron is kind of underrated a little bit, I think. Okay, maybe Incredible Hulk. Don't fucking mope on me, motherfucker. Talking to my... He can't win with me.
I'm nodding.
He can't win with me. He's either talking too much or not enough.
You know what the
for
funniest
my
part
taste.
is? You're so pissed, and I'm
I know.
agreeing with everything you're saying. Incredible Hulk is not that bad, but
no. But it was kind of.
It's not as good as the other ones.
Well,
and the first Thor isn't that great. It's fun, but it's not as.
You're right, but here's the thing about Incredible Hulk.
None of them are bad.
No, Dark.
Dark World is
fucked fucking. Oh my god, they fucked that Malekith. Oh my god, they fucked that up so.
DJ
and
Metcalf?
Christopher Eccleston. No, Malekith. He was the fucking villain in Dark World.
I know.
But Incredible Hulk, if you remember, I know you do. That came out, I believe, before Iron Man or after.
Same year.
But
It came out like a month after the Iron Man came out.
Okay. They filmed after Incredible Hulk was already finished when they saw how huge Iron Man was going to be.
That's why it's just in a bar with 2 actors because
Right.
it's a reshoot.
Yes. Now, if I'm not... Did they already have the stinger for Iron Man in place? Or did they redo that too?
As far as I know...
Because they were like, hey, we have a chance to do this.
As far as I know, the Nick Fury thing was always... The end credits scene with Nick Fury was always in there.
But was it just fan service at the time, and then oh shit, this could be a thing? Because they only planned once Iron Man blew up. That's when everything was like okay, and they greenlit Iron Man 2 and everything, and started talking about Captain America and Thor.
This was pre-Disney.
Oh yeah, this was MCU, or no, this was
Paramount owned Iron Man at the time,
right?
And then Universal had the rights to
Hulk, yeah,
and still had the rights until like last year.
The MCU Marvel Marvel movies, if you will, didn't become its own company until
the Avengers.
Right. But Paramount helped distribute that and fund it because they
help
on
with
the box.
They help with Thor and they those first round of MCU movies before Avengers, Paramount
up until Avengers.
Paramount distributed them.
Which is kind of funny because now you're thinking about it like it's all Disney and shit.
Had Paramount had known, maybe they probably would have put in a bid before Disney snatched it up.
It's so interesting to me, like how much, the fact that Hulk end scene was redone, just kind of, it was thrown on there.
Oh my God.
Hey, maybe
at the end of Thor 2, when they show Mjolnir, I lost my fucking mind. Like, oh my
Iron Man
God.
2. I think you said Thor 2.
No,
it's totally fine.
I said Iron Man 2.
I don't know.
Anyway, point is, I saw that.
I don't know.
Iron Man 2, I saw 3 times. I only paid once.
But it's not that good.
No. But
I love Whiplash, though. And fucking bring back Rockwell, man. Bring back fucking...
We could have done it in Armor Wars and they fucked that.
What's his hammer, right?
Justin Hammer, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Bring me some Justin Hammer and some Whip. I don't care that they edited it wrong to make what's his name look shitty. Hey, fuck you. He made a hand gesture at me.
I flipped him off.
Yeah. Because from what I understand, like
I don't know why, but
from what I understand, a lot of people said that Mickey, that his performance was
Mickey
actually
Rourke.
really, really good.
My boy.
But the way it was edited and shot or something, it made his character look stupid.
Well, I think the problem was Marvel when this. So
I loved the idea of a Russian like super tech
But
genius on like who was homeless,
but this is my point. This is what we've talked about.
getting
Tyler.
funding from a rival.
Tyler,
I love that.
This is what we've talked about, though. This is what this feels like, right? This feels like Iron Man 2 era. Right after that comes out, then we start to do. Then it's Thor and Captain America in the same year. Then we get to the Avengers stuff. And that's when it starts to feel interconnected. And that's like what we've been talking about. It feels like that, but it feels like we've been doing that a lot longer because we have. Because if you think about it, what has happened since Endgame? You've had Spider-Man No Way Home, or you had Spider-Man Far From Home. Then you had Eternals. You had all the Disney Plus shows, like with WandaVision and all that stuff. Oh, you've oversaturated the market.
Yeah,
now people
way
don't
bad.
care. You know how many people that don't, like, outside of us that do something like this, you know how many people I've talked to that says, I don't really care about Marvel anymore? Because there's so much
There's
shit.
definitely fatigue.
There's
yeah.
too much shit.
Even-
We've said it multiple times
look,
on this
if
show,
people-
and Agatha all along is a great example of
and-
Marvel shoveling too much shit at you.
It's such a great segue. But if you've ever listened to this show, you know that us saying it's too much is way too much for the average audience, dude. Way too much.
Because we're psychos.
Well, no, I mean,
No, because we love this shit.
okay,
and
so we are psychos, but
No, because we like it more than, say, the casual
we
viewer.
have a lot more vested interest.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't stop touching my microphone. We have
It's
a lot
all right.
more
As long
vested
as you
interest.
don't, lift it,
I think, yeah.
There's something with the connection we got to work on.
It's fine. But we have a lot more vested interest. But
Yeah.
but this is one of those situations. You were talking about Armor Wars being canceled. I believe that Agatha was too far along in
Yeah.
production, and somebody kept pointing to the amount of money that theme song made when it went viral.
Yeah.
Somebody kept doing that. Guys. Right?
And I think,
I cannot believe that if they are on the way to a hard reboot after Star Wars, which I believe Star Wars,
that they come in secret Wars.
Avengers, Star Wars,
They own. Disney owns them.
They fucking did it.
Disney owns it.
I'm Captain America Skywalker. What's up,
He
motherfucker?
has a fucking lightsaber.
The Black Knight is Darth Vader. Okay.
It's gonna happen. You know it is.
Yeah, I can't wait. Actually,
I'm gonna buy a gun for that moment and blow my fucking brains out. I'm gonna Abe Lincoln myself.
wow, wow. It's kind of interesting. I was listening to Sports Talk Radio the other day. It was a national show, and they were talking about rookie quarterbacks, and they were like, yeah, if Caleb Smith comes out and CJ Stroud's it. And I was like, that's kind of interesting how, like, people's names have become. I hope someday my name is synonymous with somebody just really kicking ass and like, I fucking Tyler Allen that shit, dude.
Look, doing it in comics is one thing.
I hope it's not from like behind. Yeah.
But on screen, I'm sick of it. We have reached the meta point where it's like, look at all the properties we own on one screen.
I cannot believe that if they're shooting for that Secret Wars reboot, which again I believe they are, I cannot believe that anything that happens in Agatha has any bearing on the larger universe or has any real reason for being other than the fact that some fucking number counter somewhere was like, look at how much the song made. Sorry,
I think maybe the only way that I think they can justify having to still come out and salvage it is if really
Werewolf by Night shows up, Swamp Thing shows up.
something.
I mean, Man Thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Swamp Thing's DC.
By the way, Swamp Thing is now available, starring the incredible Adrian Barbeau. Is on Max.
Oh, it is on Max.
It is.
Maybe we'll actually watch it because we talked about what? How'd that set off my Google? That was weird. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. I didn't want to, but I can mentally control technology.
So anyway. No shit. Where have you been all my life? It's I don't know, because what are you gonna do? Bring in Black Knight, which, by the way, Kit Harington said I didn't really have a care about what the character was. They called, so I said yes. And like, it just to me shows more and more that Marvel is distancing themselves from that, and they have done that before. But it's just come more and more evident in this phase of it, of being like, okay, we truly have no idea where we're going. We don't know what's happening. So much so that we did this whole Kang storyline. And then, yes, real life events happen. Jonathan Majors does what he does, and that has to reset everything again while you're in the process of resetting everything. And then, we're going to introduce multiverses. So we're saying all the properties that we owned before, guess what? They matter. And like, that's a cool sentiment to say these stories did matter if you like them. But it's just like, okay, but what the fuck
a little inside.
What the fuck are you trying to do? Because you conditioned me. You conditioned me to make it as a TV show, right? So what's next? What's the next season?
Right, exactly. And let me just make it fucking clear. Just because you have one season of a show does not mean you need a 2 or a fucking 3, Mandalorian. God damn it. Sorry, is there a Book of Boba Fett season 2 coming? I don't need it. I don't fucking need it. Is there an Obi-Wan? I don't need it. I don't fucking need it. I do not need an Andor season 2, actually. Actually, I'll take one.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good.
But I didn't. I like those. God, I love those motherfuckers.
Dude, someone has crashed. They're like, what the fuck happened? This got aggressive real fast.
But the only thing in the preview, in the trailer that I saw, wow,
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
That's what the tow truck guy says.
I don't give a fuck.
Maybe it was this podcast.
Listen, I was watching TV and you had made me come out
Some
here
guy
on
was screaming about the
I-35.
Mandalorian.
I don't give a fuck. Well, what the Mandal? Are you talking about them little guitars?
Mandolin.
A Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian. Boom, boom.
Is that like the Millennium Falcon? All right.
Somebody had to have done that theme song.
Somebody's turned this
somewhere.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, yeah.
No, but
we're on the same page.
I gotta
of like,
what the fuck was it?
No, because you were on the same thing of like, and we've said this for a long time at this point, as long as we've done this show, because this show has been.
Oh, the only thing in the trailer was Aubrey Plaza. And it was like, cool, who does she play? And then I'm like, I don't care, because I
didn't even watch the trailer. I care.
have, and I've never really been much into the supernatural side of the Marvel Universe. It's really just not my style. I mean, Ghost Rider, cool, but that's about it. I've never been into Blade comic books or any of that shit.
Now, if it's like you said and it opens up to Man-Thing being in it or Werewolf by Night, then sure, I'm a little interested, because Werewolf by Night was so different and unique, and I like that a lot. And I'm okay with Agatha kind of leaning
Werewolf
in.
by Night was so fucking well done. That 1 hour special was so well done. And please do right by Wonder Man. Okay, you're gonna bring in Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who is who is a great actor.
Who got shafted with a shitty Black Manta in the second Aquaman movie. I'm so mad about that.
But hey, wasn't he Dr. Manhattan in?
He was in the HBO show. Yeah,
and he was great in that. So you know, bad, good, right? Also, he was great in the first Aquaman. Anyway, do right by that, because if you guys can continue.
Time out. He did the best he could with what he had in that movie.
Oh, we know that.
Anyway, back to what you said.
Yeah. But understand that, Werewolf by Night succeeded so well because it took Marvel characters and put them in a different type of movie, a 50s style creature feature. That was cool. Do a show or a 1 hour special. We're okay with that, by the way. For fuck's sake. We don't need a season, by the way.
I don't need to watch 6 hours.
With do one in the style of a noir detective thriller or something. I guarantee people will eat that shit up. Why? Because it's different. And we talked about this also, how DC is really, really, really good about allowing their characters to be to be reinvented by great creators
Yes.
who maybe have nothing to do with the mainstream. And that's the problem that I think Marvel has, and I think they will continue to have in the movie arena, movie theater, is that they the movie theater of operations, just like Eastern. Yeah. Right.
Hey man, I'm George Bush, and I'd like to say thanks
you know
for
what?
coming to
Hey,
my.
I'm George Bush. I like to do cocaine. All right.
Thanks for coming to my porno theater,
Thanks for
the
coming
Bush
to my
Theater.
Bush Theater. You know what? You can have some Bush beer here too, and also some cocaine. A little teener of coke for everybody. So you want a rolled up $100 bill? I got them
George
too.
W. Bush catching a stray out of nowhere from us,
Right?
Hey, these guys.
Honestly, though, fuck George W. Bush.
We shouldn't
Fuck
be
'em
making
all.
Bush jokes in 2024.
Listen, his grandpa was a Nazi, okay? We can't dispute that, right? It's facts, dude. George Bush Sr., the senior's dad, helped fund the Nazi war machine. It's fact. You can
George
look it up.
Waltz Bush. Is
Whatever
what his real
name
name
was.
is.
Yeah. maybe.
Wolfenstein.
Hey, Volkswagen used to make shit.
Wolfenstein.
For, Ford used to
It's
make
George
shit for
Wolfenstein
Nazis,
Bush.
dude. Did
What
you
are we
guys?
doing?
I don't know. Agatha all along, by the way, is just not a show. No, but if you guys it may turn out to be really good. I am going to watch the first 2 episodes because it's a 2-show premiere. It's first 2 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna watch them, and here's the thing, it takes a lot for me to go, no, enough.
It takes a village.
It takes a lot for me to be like, I can't fucking watch this anymore. Here's a great way to understand how much it takes for me to walk out of a movie or stop a TV show in the middle.
I'll
of it.
never walk out of a movie. 'Cause I
One of
paid
my-
for that.
One of my favorite movies is The Adventures of Dr. Buckaroo Banzai. That movie is fucking cringe from fucking opening frame to closing credits, dude. Cringe as fuck. Wow. Right? It's so cringe, right? There are so many times in that movie that other people would
I've never
walk
seen
out on. Ugh. Dude,
I don't know, man.
he's half American, half Japanese. He's a top ninja as well as a top scientist. He's also he also leads a rock band called the Hong Kong Cavaliers. Dude, it's like a fever dream of a 12-year-old.
You're a fever dream. Of
And Peter Weller does the best he can, and so does Jeff Goldblum, and Clancy Brown, and John Lithgow, and Christopher Lloyd, and Dan Hedaya, and you don't know, you've never seen this movie?
No, I've never
And
seen
how
it.
the fuck are you not up with the goddamn, yeah, what in the hell is what? Hey!
What?
But yeah, I mean,
Tyler, you hear that? Long. Wait, did you have a point? I'm sorry. Were you?
the point is that I'll probably watch it, but
Go watch Buckaroo Banzai.
no, I'm saying I'll probably watch Agatha. But if those 2 episodes don't grab me with something, I'm such a Marvel nerd that there might be something in there that is a fan service Easter egg, whatever, that grabs me, and I might be like, well, fuck, I gotta watch the rest of this. If it's like the Bloodstone Hunt or something, which was one of the best Captain America storylines ever in the comics, I might have to watch the whole thing, but I doubt it.
All right. It's a long box. Sweet Lord, baby Jesus, we are at the end of this show. We're doing the long box. I don't know where that came from. I'm trying to pull.
Sweet Lord, baby Jesus, won't you save me a piece of that cake?
You wanted to talk about Arnold.
I'm assuming it's little baby Jesus' birthday. and
I almost
that's why
put
we're
in
having cake.
Raw Dead.
Raw Dead, a new movie from Sam Raimi. I always want to do this. That's Sam Raimi's new project, Raw
I was
Dead.
gonna say that was Sam Raimi saying that. I always
Yeah.
want to do this. Raw Dead.
Did you see my car in that movie?
Neato. So
My-
Raw
my brother's in a
Deal.
lot of
You
my
wanted to talk
movies.
about Raw Deal.
Hey, my brother's in a lot of my movies too.
Come on, Cohagen, you got what you want. Give these people air.
I mean, I just really like Spider-Man, so I think I'm the right guy to do it. I grew up on those comics.
I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone.
Those are some big hints. So I watched the movie Raw Deal, and in true Roger Ebert voice, it might have been a sweet deal for Arnold with the contract he signed to make this movie, but Raw Deal is nothing but a raw deal for the average moviegoer.
Kill me!
2 thumbs down, way down. One more.
Come on, do it. Do it!
I need to have a gun sound effect.
Yeah. So, first things first is I did see Raw Deal, and that's one of the few Arnold movies from that time. And the other one I'd say is Red Heat. But like out of all of these, like
I have not seen that one either.
I've seen it before, and there's a great part where he says he's helping Jim Belushi. Ugh. He's
Hey Arnold,
Hey, I'm John's brother.
Yes, you are. We are together as cops.
Together. Next, I will work with Danny DeVito.
Wait, where are they in that movie? Are they like in Chicago or something?
I think New York or Chicago.
How could you tell? I've been in America for so long that this is my clear New York accent.
No, he plays a Russian cop. What?
Of course he does.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
They
Yeah.
have to figure out a way with the accent. They gotta.
Fuck. I mean, they called him like
Red
what?
Heat. Come
Dude,
on.
dude. They called
Come
him like
on.
Wisnowski or something.
Anyway.
And yeah,
Raw
shush.
Deal.
Shush.
Shut your mouth, Jake.
Raw Deal, along with Red, Don't Fuck With Me. Another, you moved towards the, the sounder.
I was gonna.
Along with Red Heat is one of the, there's probably like 8 or 9, maybe 10 80s Arnold movies that are like top tier. And we're talking, Running Man. We're talking Commando. We're talking Kindergarten Cop. We're talking Twins, right? We're talking
Junior.
Yeah, no, not Junior. No, he lost his touch with Last Action Hero, which is underrated.
Fuck you. I got that on Blu-ray.
I went to see that in the theater, motherfucker.
Right over there.
But those are the 2 movies I haven't seen. I've seen the least of. So I'm more used to a kind of, in the other movies that I reference, there's kind of a theme going on, especially like Running Man, Commando, and what's the other one? Total Recall is another type of movie like that, where there's kind of a theme running through it. And this movie is way off of every Arnold theme, because we meet Arnold and he is a washed up FBI agent living in the middle of nowhere with his alcoholic wife who likes to make cakes and then throw them at him. And he's trying to make the best of a good situation, right?
What a weird,
Right. You're
quirky flaw.
Now, what was that movie? He was in a movie within the last 10, 20 years. He was one of those like career resurgence where he plays like a sheriff.
Oh, The Last Stand, I think is what it's called.
Yes. Now, that's a movie where you're like, okay, his age, his time in life, his career, whatever, you can see that working. But this is like young prime Arnold, and you're like, this is weird, right?
Yeah.
So, Darren McGavin, the dad from Billy Madison, is the FBI guy, and he comes to him and he goes, "My son's been killed," and he's a great actor, so he lends a lot of like gravitas to this movie, right? But it's still a shitty movie because the action movies are crap. The action set pieces are crap. There's a part where he drives around a quarry after loading up all of these guns into this big fucking Cadillac, and he's driving around a quarry, and he's literally like driving with one hand and shooting an M16 like this and then like this, and he breaks out the window so he can shoot like this too. Now the stunt work is A+ because there's a lot of great.
It just sounds so incredibly dumb.
It is so dumb. When
Yeah.
you're used to like action set pieces from today, which are incredibly complex and shit, dude, this is embarrassing, right? But he plays a guy, he tries to get in with the mob. So he actually tries to play like kind of a skeezy kind of, mob enforcer type character to do that. And the end, the whole end thing, I'm going to spoil it for you because I don't give a fuck. They figure out he's an informant, so they take him to the cemetery to shoot like a stoolie or whatever, and it turns out that it's his old boss at his son's grave. So he helps shoot his boss. He doesn't kill him or whatever. He doesn't die.
Yeah.
But these, figures it out, has to run after the two other guys that he came with because they figured out, he's obviously whatever. And the guy's like, his boss is like, go get him. I'll be fine. He's like, I'm so sorry. I shot you, like, Jesus.
Oopsie poopsie.
Oopsie poopsie, right? It's not a tumor. And then he gets up and he run, and he, at the very end of the movie, his boss is like, can't walk because of the shooting. So he's in a wheelchair and yeah, that Arnold did. So, well, maybe not, but maybe. And he's in a wheelchair and he's at physical therapy and the nurse is like, come on, you're going to do this again? And she's hot. So, and he's like, no, I'm not. And he's being real mean to her. And I'm like, hey, that's not very nice because she's hot. Not that that's a criteria for being nice to somebody, but you should be nice to hot people because they can get you places. Anyway, so she's like, I can't believe you're going to do this. And he's just swearing at her, just being really mean. And he comes in, Arnold comes in, and he goes, hey. And he stands at the other end and he's like, get up. And it's a whole it's like one of Arnold's workout videos, right? He's like, okay, are you ready? Get up, let's go. Get up. And he literally grabs him out of the chair and forces him onto the fucking metal things.
The guy was like,
Oh my God.
And then he runs around to the other side. He's like, come on. Would what's his son's name is like Tommy or something. Would Tommy have given up? Would you ever give up on Tommy? And he's just like,
and then Tommy comes in.
What'd you do? So Tommy's dead, remember?
Oh.
That's
Tommy's dead.
Kill me!
That's how the whole movie starts off, is that Arnold's boss's son, the FBI guy, gets killed. So the FBI guy comes to Arnie and goes, can you help me avenge my son? Jesus, fuck, that was like the first 3 seconds. Anyway, but the last 5 minutes of this movie is this inspirational whole thing where his boss is like, and Arnold's like,
the last 5 minutes of the movie?
Yes! That's how the movie ends. And it ends with them in each other's arms and they're crying. And I know! No, this is not a fucking Arnold movie. What is this?
Friendship conquers.
Friendship conquers.
Paralysis.
Where's the music thing where he's laughing? You need that right now. It's music where he's like, friendship conquers paralysis. That's fucked up.
So I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific.
Apparently that overcomes friendship.
Can't believe that.
Wow. I think if you are an Arnold fan, you should check it out just to see a different side of Arnold during that time, during that peak period time of his. But I don't recommend it. Because if you like the movies that I like, that we like, come on, Cohagen, you won't like this movie. You'll be like, what the fuck is it?
You'll be saying.
And if I'm not mistaken,
Get your ass to Mars.
both Raw Deal and Red Heat did not do very well at the box office compared to his other movies around that time.
Yeah.
You're up, douche.
All right. So this one is interesting because I try not to be I remember a while back I shared a tweet about it, how I'm trying to have a more positive outlook on things and talk about things that I care about positively. And I can't help it. I have to talk about this because I'm mostly just like, I had a moment, and this isn't negative, I would say, in the context of how I just feel about this franchise. I want to talk about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So I checked this out on Netflix.
Yeah.
I watched about an hour of it, and I fell asleep. And it was one of those moments, and I know you've had this happen, and I'm sure there's listeners out there that have had that happen, where it's late at night, or a little bit later at night, and you are trying to stay up. You make that decision of, I'm going to fight this, I'm going to stick it out, I'm going to watch this thing. Or you just say, I can't, I'm just tired, you just pass out.
You know what the secret is? Is you have to sit in a chair and not like lay on a couch. Because if you lay down at any point while you're trying to stay awake watching a movie, you will fail.
However, I feel like there's an option 3
Ooh.
where you just give up and go to sleep
Sure.
because the movie sucks.
Sure.
And that was what I felt with option 3. Now,
spoiler alert.
If you like that movie, sure, I understand. If you like whatever you like. I'm not trying to say
we're not kink shaming
Look,
here.
I don't even think the movie's bad, but it's just a movie that I had a moment of I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, I don't care where this movie goes. And
did it feel like it was written by about 9 different guys?
Yeah, it felt like it was written by a studio.
Yeah, a committee.
I enjoyed the first. Of course, the first Ghostbusters is a classic. I enjoyed the second one because I watched it a lot as a kid. I didn't really care for the Answer the Call 2016 with Kristen Wiig.
I watched it, but I did. Yeah, I mean, if you were doing something different with it, but you didn't really.
A movie that clearly didn't deserve it, the controversies it got.
No. And Hemsworth was fucking great.
I want to be very clear on this. I hated that movie. Not because it was
I don't hate it. I just don't care for
no,
it.
I was against that movie not because it was women being in the role.
Yeah.
I was against it because I'm like, I've been saying this for fucking years that Ghostbusters is not a franchise and it shouldn't be a franchise.
Well, yeah.
Because at this point where you get in this movie, you get to it just feels like we are just fucking making products, man. And I know it's always been like this, but maybe it's because I've been exposed to more children's programming because I have a kid that it's become more obvious to me. But there are moments in that hour that I watched of this 2-hour movie.
Fuckathon. This 2-hour fuckathon.
No, here's the thing. I think this should be something that should be addressed. I didn't want to finish it. I didn't care. That is more of an indictment on the movie than anything I could say negatively. It's just the fact that, like, I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've been like that with Ghostbusters for a while. Now, I reviewed Afterlife with my wife on this podcast. I was positive on that movie. I enjoyed Afterlife.
I still haven't seen it.
And the reason I liked Afterlife, because while it did have its big visual effects and it was still a big Hollywood movie, it still had a much more intimate story and a much more close, smaller base of a story. This one, they blow it all up and make it into the full bore fucking franchise.
That's what they
that
did
they've
with
been
2.
trying to do for 20 plus years.
Well, that's what they did with 2.
30 plus years.
No,
that's what I mean. And you can feel that in this because this is clearly set up for another movie or a fucking Netflix show or whatever.
Sequels often fail because they're trying to build so hard on the success of the first one. And the problem is they weren't...
you have to introduce new characters. You have to introduce new enemies.
What made the first one successful often isn't necessarily what the creators intended it to be successful for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they're like, well, and then they're trying to capitalize on what people liked, but they don't know what people liked.
It is the DJ Khaled, man. They're suffering from their success. Ghostbusters 1 was so good that they had the need to make a second one. They had to.
It took like 4 or 5 years, though.
Terminator is another example of a franchise that shouldn't be a franchise. It should have just had 2 movies, and that's it. That's it.
Yes.
But because it made so much money and it captured the zeitgeist for as long as it did and still has, and this is the thing. It's not even that it's a bad movie. I don't hate it. It's just I just had a moment where I'm like, I don't fucking care to finish this. This is not what I want. This is not what I like about Ghostbusters. This isn't what I want from a Ghostbusters movie. And more importantly, you know what else I said? And that's okay. It's not for me. I don't care.
Not for me.
Here's where I lost it, and I might spoil it for you. I don't know.
You son
but
of a...
here's where I lost it. Kumail Nanjiani's in it, or
you told me.
Is it Kumail?
Kunal Nanjiani. Kunal.
Okay.
It's Kunail.
Kunail Nanjiani is in this movie. He sells them this sphere to Dan Aykroyd, whose character is he has his own they're like spirit, like supernatural artifacts. That's what it is. And he's got this sphere that's at the beginning of the movie that lets out the big frozen ghost villain, whatever. That's the whole thing in motion. Well, they catch up with him later because they're like, who gave this to you? You know, whatever. And they go and trace it back to him, and they find him, and they talk to him, and it's like, well, you were actually, and then they go and do this shit, and they find out that he was actually a part of an ancient order of warriors that would fight against this ghost or this being that were called fire starters. And then that is the point when I said, fuck that, and I am out. Because that only gets worse, because my wife decided to finish it. She watched it separately. I said, finish it if you want. She goes, okay, because she's a completionist. So she finished it, and she told me the ending, and it involved what I thought, which had Kumail Nanjiani using fucking fire powers to fight the ice person. And I'm like, when the fuck did we decide, hey, this is about ghosts, but let's do superpower shit? Like, what is that for? Why? At one point, they shoot a fucking trap up as a drone, and I'm like, that's a toy, as it goes up. And then they're at the firehouse, and they're like, well, this is damaged. You know what that means? It's a sequel, baby. We got a new fucking headquarters. That's run by kids. That's run by kids. You couldn't be more on the fucking nose who you're targeting this movie to is kids. Because the whole second headquarters is run by teenagers.
At the box office?
Yeah, sure. They're smart.
And weirdly enough, the new Ghostbusters headquarters looks a lot like Avengers headquarters.
And that's another thing. When has Ghostbusters ever been a kids franchise? Well, they did have cartoons, but
I gotta be honest, yeah, the first one is not meant for kids.
He gets a blowjob from a ghost in the first movie.
Well, let's be honest too, is that Dr. Peter Venkman is very suspect.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck has that much of a fucking what is it that she gave her about 40 cc's of whatever? Who has that much of a drug on them that puts humans to sleep, and they have it on them?
Oh, don't get me started on Bill Murray, who couldn't be bothered to fucking try in this movie. Jesus Christ, man! At least Aykroyd is giving some energy to this, but like Murray could.
How about?
I mean, Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson's great and everything.
True. How about Annie Potts?
Again, I only watched an hour.
You know, she's the secretary.
It's just look, and I
you
don't
remember from the first one.
I don't look.
Ghostbusters. What do you want?
She is in this, yes.
Yeah, and how is she? Is she good?
Paul Rudd is Paul Rudd.
Is Paul Rudd good?
He's fine.
Is he good?
Oh my god, dude! And the girl, the girl.
What?
The girl has a whole storyline where she is talking to this girl ghost. And I'm just
You don't need to finish that.
No.
No, I will.
I'm just saying there's a scene where she's playing chess with this ghost and it's going back and forth. I'm like, oh, this is kind of an interesting scene. And then it just keeps going. And I'm just like, I don't care. I can't care. I just don't.
I don't fucking care anymore, Jesus. I don't fucking care.
And here's
anymore,
the thing.
my Lord.
Here's the thing. Rather than waste,
That's my Christian
rather
rock.
than spend another hour and a half or hour or whatever, how much longer I had in the movie, rather than commit to that, I went to sleep and I said, I don't need to finish this movie. I don't care enough to finish this movie.
Huh.
It doesn't bother me. I still can enjoy that first.
I think this is the first time we've done a long box where both of us did not like what we watched.
No, and I don't want to be negative.
No.
I just want to address something where I feel like I thought we were past the MCUification of everything. I understand that DC is starting over with their universe, but I just thought that I really just Ghostbusters shouldn't be a franchise. It just shouldn't, in my opinion. And I am not trying to gatekeep Ghostbusters. If you like
you, man.
If you like anything past the first Ghostbusters or the second Ghostbusters,
More power to you.
Good for you. That's great. But I have just accepted it is not a franchise that appeals to me anymore, and I just don't care about it anymore.
I agree.
You know?
Can I just add? I totally forgot about this, but I was just thinking about it. Raw Deal does have one of the best Arnold, montage themes. Because he's got montage themes.
Yeah.
But it's like, bah, it's pretty fucking badass. That's the best thing about that movie.
Oh, Dickless is the mayor in Frozen Empire, by the way. They brought him back. He He gives energy. Aykroyd gives some energy. No, all the legacy guys are great except for fucking Bill Murray. And, by the way, that mystique of him wore off real quick when I heard of how abusive he's been to people on set. So go fuck yourself, Bill Murray. Go lay somewhere and die. Do us all a favor and stop shuffling on set.
Stop fucking up your legacy.
Why bother? If you don't give a shit, why show up?
You have enough money.
And if you're going to treat people like shit, just go die somewhere. Just go.
You know, the first thing I ever heard about him was the whole Lucy
But you know what
Liu
I'm
thing.
talking about. You heard about all the allegations and shit.
The first time I ever heard about him, we're talking decades now, man, back.
Yeah.
The first time I ever heard of allegations now. But the first time I ever heard about him being like kind of abusive was right around the peak, like, you know, Bill Murray weird shirts, you know, that peak zeitgeist era, like maybe 15 years ago.
The memification of him.
Right. And I came out about Lucy Liu with the Charlie's Angels. And apparently, like, he was like super
I heard about that. Yeah.
And honestly, I was like, totally makes sense to me. He kind of seems like that kind of guy.
Seth Green talked about how when he was a kid, he like grabbed him by the ankles and was like hanging him over a trash can or something, like a fucking bully from middle school. So yeah, fuck Bill Murray and fuck this movie and fuck anyone that likes it. I changed my mind. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And there's some people that say this is their favorite Ghostbusters movie. I'm sure. You know what? Good for you.
You know what? Here's the thing. I've never seen.
I might have been harsh. I'm not saying like
I'd like to watch the two of them.
Can I be clear about something?
Sure.
I may have come off a little harsh there. I don't want Bill Murray to like go die or something. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, just fucking don't show up.
But you can just
and
live
go enjoy your fortune.
Yeah, you can live your life now.
If you think you're so much above this and just being like, whatever, I'm gonna do, then just go retire and fuck off somewhere, and then die because you're old as shit. Is what I was meaning. Enjoy retirement. Die happy.
What is going on with your goddamn phone?
You know what's going on with me? I love you. And I love America.
I love America. Hey, did you know we won the fucking Olympics, dude?
We did, dude. Most gold medals, baby.
We won the Olympics! USA! USA!
Fuck you, France.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
England. Fuck you, Germany. Fuck
Yeah.
you, any other country.
Yeah. Well, not really. I mean, you know. If
No, I mean,
you're struggling.
But like athletically, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you athletically.
You know what's funny is the only time I'm ever patriotic is during the Olympics of the World Cup.
You know what's really fun is that Fox News is doing, or Fox Nation is doing the Patriot Awards this fall. And can I just say that anybody involved with anything called the Patriot Awards, that is literally the most unpatriotic thing I can possibly think of.
Speaking of patriots, the true patriot
is ready to defend his country against his government.
That patriot is Optimus Prime.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.